Okay. Time to do these.
Give it to me like.
Hey guys, welcome to another video on my channel. Okay, so today is check, removal, and new set day. So I had these on for 6 weeks. And they're not too bad. You can see a lot of the grow out. But as far as lifting, nothing. No lifting whatsoever. Some of my nails grew out a little more just because I'm adding that extra space. But this primer, this is the Kirsty Meakin primer, works wonders. I swear it has something to do with it. But let's get into starting the new set and we will do it all over again. So I've done my right hand. And I'm going to start with the primer. And then I'm also going to put TACK on, cure for 2 minutes. And I'm going to go in with the natural fiber by Light Elegance. Using my trusty, ugly Duckling gel brush. And we're going to do a backfill. So I'm just going to do a couple nails. And I will speed it up for you so that it doesn't take forever. Because it takes forever. So first thing I do, I start with a slip layer. And making sure to cover my whole nail. Again, I'm not going too close to the cuticle. And then I grab a bead. And I start to just work the gel. Pillow it to the cuticle area. And then I just kind of fiddle with it to bring it down to the apex area. And here I'm using the liner brush just to pull some of the gel down because my nails were pretty good. They didn't need a lot. I just needed to backfill and just build up a little more of the apex there. So I'm going to do my middle finger again, slip layer, just covering the whole nail. Grab another bead. And you see how I'm leaving a little bit of space. Remember, gel sticks to gel. So your first slip layer is really important. And then the other gel will sort of fall into wherever your edges are. And then for cleanup, just got a liner brush and pull the gel down into shape. You can pull it back up if you need to. Pull it down, make sure you get around your sidewalls and your cuticle area. And holy hell. All right, so I'm sorry about the background noise. I completed all of them off camera. Obviously, I pretty much had them shaped, so I did a little bit of filing after just to make sure they were even. Now I'm just cleaning off any of the dust that's left on my nails. When I do removal, I do a lot of my shaping then so that I don't have too much to do afterwards, and it works really well. So after a little bit of shaping, I'm just going around the cuticles just to sort of taper the sides, make it a little more flush. So it's not like too much of a bubble. I'm just making sure it's a little more even. Okay, so I got my liner brush for cleanup, and we're gonna start with this one, which is lucky number 9. So I am starting with this periwinkle-ish. There's that There's that word again, periwinkle. So it's like a light sort of blue. Now I did prime my nail. So I used the Kirsty Meakin primer underneath this, just FYI. Thank you, that's amazing. So I'm gonna do a couple coats of this. And I'm always using my liner brush to clean up my edges. I find the gel polish brushes a bit too bulky. I like working with like an actual, gel brush and then putting some polish on my palette. I just think it's you can be more precise and it's neater. But I'm making do with this liner brush just to fix up all these little thick sort of edges. So I think this coat's a little too thick, but it's okay. I will clean it up later. So I'm going in with a little less on my brush, as you can see. Starting down at the tip and then working my way up to the cuticle. And then cleaning up around and just making more of a solid line around my cuticle area and down my sidewalls and making sure to cap my edges. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to do this on all of my nails. I'm going to do 2 coats on each, and then I'm going to cure. Okay, so I did 2 coats of Lucky Number 9, and I topped it with the No Wipe top coat. So now I'm just going to buff all my nails, buff around my edges, make sure there's no sort of bumps sticking up, and I'm just trying to make like a matte surface without going over with a matte polish, because I'm going to be doing a few different layers on these nails. So just buffing them all, getting them ready for the next step. All right, so I had taken my Tomboy color. So if you saw my last video, I wanted to use this color, and I decided to do a French with the blue sparkle. So I'm using my Celina Ryden Stripy liner brush. Just drawing out my lines for the French, and then I'm doing all my edges. So I'm kind of doing the outline first, and then I'm using the stripy brush to sort of cap all my free edges, because it just does it nice and smoothly. You could fill in on a smaller nail with this brush, but when you get to your bigger nails, if you have nails with a lot of real estate, like my thumb or my middle finger, or a couple other of my fingers, it's just better to use an actual gel brush to fill in the French, and then do your touch up with the liner brush after. So this was a bit of a headache. My OCD kicks in big time, and I start to notice every little mistake, and then I start to correct it and correct it and correct it and correct it. but it's okay. They turned out pretty good. So doing my pinky here first, and then I'm going to do the rest of them off camera. And I'll come back and do my other hand. So obviously working with this hand, this is my dominant hand. I'm going to show you how I work with my non-dominant hand on my other pinky. And I did the pinky just because I felt like it was the easiest one to show on camera. But yeah, this precision stuff and just making sure that it looks symmetrical, you know, with my nail, because if your filing is off at all, or even just the shaping is off, you have to end up adjusting to make sure it looks even. So, but let's take a look at them after they're cured. So I did most of them. And like I said, I'm going to show you my pinky with my non-dominant hand. I have sped this up, but let me tell you, this was painful. You almost have to hold your breath too sometimes just to make sure you get the straight lines. You don't like jam the brush just in the wrong spot. One false move and you gotta take it off and do it again. So okay, so you see how many different angles I had to put my hand in just to do that. So I've done the outline of the French. I've sort of colored in a little or painted a little bit of it in. And now I'm just taking my gel brush and I'm going in for a second coat. And I'm just making sure that the color is nice and sparkly and that it's fully covered and there's no like bare spaces. See how bright it looks? Oh, and I'm doing my non-dominant hand here too. When you're using your non-dominant hand, you almost use your right hand. You kind of move it with, like in the opposite way. So it's truly ambidextrous. You're using both hands. Whereas when I'm using my dominant hand, my left hand can be still. But here you'll notice like I'm constantly like pulling it back. I'm twisting it. And sometimes I'm just moving my left hand and I'm keeping my other hand still. So it's cool though. I mean, I've gotten way better since I first started, and the more you do it, the better you get. And if you look it up, working with your non-dominant hand is good for the brain. So, training your non-dominant hand, stimulating the brain's cognitive and creative functions. Okay, so French is done, cured. I'm going to use under pressure, and I'm going to coat all of my nails so that periwinkle color has a bit of this sparkle, gives sort of a holiday feel to them, and it also kind of brings out some teal in the Tomboy blue color. So I think it makes it look a little nicer. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm deciding whether I want to matte my nails or keep them shiny. So we'll see when they're done. Take a look at half of them one way, half of them another way, and then we will see what we're gonna do. Okay, so I matted the left hand. I kept, and I matted my thumb. And I kept the rest of my, I matted my right hand, kept my thumb, and then left the rest of my left hand shiny. And I really like the matte. I think the shiny's too much all over the nail. So I'm going to keep it matted. I'm going to put a little bit of no white top coat. And I'm going to only do the French shiny. So I'm just using my liner brush to outline the French. So I go around the edges. I do the little, the smile line. And then I'm going to use the brush from the bottle and I'll fill in the rest. So keeping everything else matte, and we're just making the French nice and shiny. And then we are going to cure, and then we'll buff the French tip just to make sure that it's nice and smooth and there's no lumpy or bumpy spots. And then I've got a couple different rhinestones that I laid out just to accent a couple of my nails. Okay, so cured. I'm using actually my Light Elegance nail glue. You could do this with a gel. I cure it with the nail glue. So if you put like a couple dabs of gel, you could put the rhinestones in there and then cure them and they will hold. But I'm starting off with this sort of starburst blue, kind of matches the French. I'm just putting it down at the cuticle. And then I'm dabbing a little more for a couple more of these tanzanite colored, right? That's tanzanite. Those gems?
Yeah, tanzanite blue.
Which is my birthstone, one of my birthstones. So I started with 2, and then I put a little one on top. And then this is my right hand. Everything is matted on this one. And I'm going to do the same thing on my other thumb. So this is my jar of those little starburst. They're actually just plastic, but they're flat back. They're really pretty. They look like little ding gears or stars. And I didn't want to go too crazy with the... I do want to do a set where I do like a full nail with all rhinestones. I think that would be cool for maybe New Year's or something, but for my thumb, I think I'm just going to stick with the 3. So I kind of go biggest to smallest. And I'm just deciding if there's any other nails I want to embellish. So, but before we do that, I'm going to buff the French tips and just smooth out the top coat. So this, I'm using my Foamy. It's a light elegance file. It's really nice. It's like 100 grit and 180. No, is it 100 and 180? Do I have it here? Yeah. No, it's 180 and 280. I was like, there's no way it's 100. It's a Foamy. So it's perfect for just buffing the nail, but not taking off any of the color. So we are going to go over the French again with a top coat, just to finish the design. And then we'll come back and look at everything finished.
Give it to me like.
Okay, so here they are. So I did a little one on my ring finger, and I matched my thumbs with the 3 rhinestones, the 2 like tanzanite ones and my starburst ones. So I think they turned out pretty good. They're definitely festive, right? These are festive. It's kind of like snowy, sparkly, and Christmas bulbs. A little bit. So I really like the contrast between the dark sparkle and the periwinkle, and I think the Under Pressure, which was the first sparkle I did on top, looks really nice. And then the Scorpio top coat added a nice little purple tinge to it. So I did, I used Lucky Number 9. I used Tomboy for the French. This is Under Pressure. This is what I coated them with. That's what that like white sort of sparkle is. And then I matted with my Scorpio matte top coat, which has a little bit of a purple shimmer to it. And then we used the no wipe top coat to do the French. And there we go. I used, these are the tanzanite gems I used, and then these were the starburst. And for the backfill, I did the Natural Fibre by Light Elegance, which has a bit of acrylic in it, so it's easy to work with, but extra strong. I used TACK as a primer, Kirsty Meakin's primer, and that's about it. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked the holiday French sparkle set. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time.